Hey everyone. So MSTR strategy, the Bitcoin treasury company, is just getting flattened right now. Nuked, destroyed, down like what, 75% at the time of this recording. But guess what? I'm buying with both hands and feet here. I'm buying MSTR, MSTE, and MSTU. And I'm here to talk you off the ledge because the worst time to be fearful is right now. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you why. Okay, so all you know, I'm a huge proponent of Bitcoin. And as a result, also a huge proponent of the Bitcoin treasury company, MSTR. Now, MSTR is down a massive amount since the peak, like 70–80% or so. Now, if you are a traditional finance type of person, welcome. This is what a bull market correction looks like in real time in crypto. Go look at Crypto Chatter on X or on TikTok or even here on YouTube. It is in absolute shambles. You can now experience what retail investors are feeling in real time during a typical bull market correction in crypto. It's like clockwork. You're living through the drawdown that happens 3 to 5 times every single bull market cycle. Trust me when I say that 30 to 40% correction in Bitcoin is not a bear market. This is a run-of-the-mill bull market correction. Like I said, it happens 3 to 5 times every single bull market cycle. Go look at a chart. It happens every single time. We've already had 3 or 4 of these since the 2022 bottom in Bitcoin, and they will continue to happen on the way up. But remember, you can't have the multiple X returns in crypto without the massive drawdowns to remove the tourists and the inexperienced crowd. You didn't really think it would be that easy to make multiples of your money on Bitcoin now, did you? And that's my point, is that volatility is a gift to those who seek opportunity, and Bitcoin and therefore MSTR are presenting opportunities of a lifetime. And today I'm specifically reaching out to my fellow income investors in Canada. Yeah, I'm looking at you and speaking on MSTE. Now, my last MSTE ETF video is probably my best performing video on this channel, if not second best. And the reason I'm specifically reaching out to the MSTE crowd is because income opportunities like this don't come around very often, especially in the Canadian income space. MSTE is currently, as of recording, trading at $3.23 a share, just getting absolutely dunked on. But guess what? It's doing exactly what it's intended to do, follow MSTR, but with leverage. So of course, it's going to underperform MSTR to the downside. And again, there's not much to speak on from the aspect of MSTE's fundamentals and how it operates as a fund. All you have to look at is its underlying asset, MSTR. And right now, MSTR is trading at a humongous discount. How big of a discount? Well, let me show you. So MSTR currently holds just north of 713,000 Bitcoin. And somehow it's trading at the same price it was when it only held 220,000 Bitcoin. So holding 3 times as much Bitcoin as it did at this price the last time it was here. And not only that, but MSTR's current market capitalization of the company is sitting at $33 billion. But its Bitcoin holdings are valued at over $50 billion. So just on the Bitcoin stack alone, MSTR is trading at like a 40% discount to where it should be. Now add the fact that they hold 3 times as much Bitcoin as they did the last time we were at these prices, and I think you can start to see why I am so bullish on buying MSTE, MSTR, and MSTU. Like, Discount Central doesn't even begin to describe what I think of MSTR at these prices. It's severely undervalued. And personally, yes, I never expected MSTR share price to drive this low. I don't think many people did. Like, MSTR is essentially giving you the last parabolic move for free again. Like, hey, you probably missed this last parabolic move from $100 to $500 a share, so here it is again. And people are fearful. People think it's the end of strategy, that it's all over for Bitcoin, and this is exactly what the sentiment is like every single time we have these typical bull market corrections. Now, MSTR is getting a lot of the hate from, of course, the anti-crypto crowd and from the traditional finance crowd who didn't spend more than an hour researching strategy of the company, saying really uneducated things like MSTR is going to have to start selling their Bitcoin soon. Strategy is going to get margin called. Whoops, Bitcoin's price is below MSTR's average buy price. It means they're going to get margin called. It is all FUD. Fear, uncertainty, in this case, uneducated, and doubt. Again, because they don't understand how strategy functions. But before we discuss the FUD out there about MSTR, please hit that like button to show me you enjoy this video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. So let me be quick and concise here. MSTR is not going to be margin called. None of their debt is callable or margined in any way. The earliest convertible debt tranche that can be swapped is in 2028. So that's not even a concern. MSTR sells stock and preferred shares to raise cash to buy Bitcoin. None of that debt is callable. Strategy's current leverage ratio of debt to Bitcoin holdings is currently sitting at like 10 or 15%. That's like saying you're worried about getting your house repossessed by the bank because you have a $150,000 mortgage on a $1 million property. The negativity is blown way out of proportion. MSTR is not over leveraged. MSTR does not have callable debt. Now, with that uneducated FUD out of the way, what's next for MSTR? Well, what they've been always doing, Pinky, taking over the world. And in this case, taking over the share of Bitcoin in the market. Every week, like clockwork, they're buying Bitcoin. When all the critics are saying that Saylor is going to have to start selling his Bitcoin, MSTR turns around and buys more, like they do every week. If you do not understand MSTR and Bitcoin at these prices, then you do not understand the Bitcoin thesis. And unfortunately, that is not something I will be able to teach you here in a single 10-minute video, but all that information is out there. It is all readily available for you to learn. Not understanding Bitcoin and the Bitcoin thesis at this point in time in 2026 is no longer a viable excuse. And remember, when we buy assets, we buy them when there's blood in the street, when the sentiment is in the trash can, when the dumpster is on fire. We do not buy precious metals at euphoric tops. We buy crypto plays at generational bottoms. Now, why focus on MSTE? Well, if you're an income investor, MSTE will provide you partial upside in the underlying stock and partial income from the other half of the underlying stock that the fund sells covered calls on. And add 25% leverage, and voila, you have an income product that will probably outperform the American equivalent fund MSTY, and an income fund that will generally destroy any other income product over the next year or two that you probably have in your portfolio. Yes, I understand. Right now, it hurts seeing your shares getting their legs and arms chopped off daily. But sooner or later, the bleeding stops, and then the coiled spring lashes back. Now, it's important we understand the leverage component of MSTE because this is really important. I truly believe that we will see MSTE either just slightly underperform MSTR or keep in line with MSTR's returns into new all-time highs, because this leverage helps make up for the underperformance of covered call funds. I mean, look at HDIV, my favorite conservative income fund. The leverage saves it time and time again from underperforming its underlying index in the bull market. And at this point, I think it's actually outperforming its underlying index, which is unheard of when it comes to income funds. And I believe the same thing will happen with MSTE. Now, shares of MSTE are currently trading at, like I said, $3.23 a share, probably a little less, a little more at the current time of you watching. But my main prediction is that MSTR is going to see new all-time highs. That's like base case. And so MSTE, I easily see share price going back to all-time highs of $18 a share. Now, MSTR goes 4 or 5x above all-time highs. MSTE will also go above all-time highs of $18 a share. But there's a caveat. MSTE will not hit all-time high share price when MSTR hits all-time high share price. Because remember, when a fund like MSTE pays out its monthly distribution, that distribution comes directly out of the share price. That's why MSTE is so much further away from its all-time high price than MSTR is currently. So yeah, that means that MSTE will hit all-time high share prices once MSTR already breaks out into new all-time high prices. Always remember the 25% leverage component, that plays a big role here in the share price. Now, if you're an income investor, I will put my head on the chopping block here because I have so much conviction in my thesis, and I predict that there will probably be nothing else that outperforms the market more than MSTE when it comes to income products over this next year or two, which is why it makes up the largest component of my personal income portfolio. And generally speaking, why Bitcoin, MSTR, MSTE, and MSTU on aggregate make up more than 50% of my entire net worth. So, do with this information what you will. I'm selling as much cash as I possibly can at this moment to buy the MSTR suite of stocks at these prices. And remember, if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. If you can't handle the volatility to the downside of these assets, you don't deserve the volatility to the upside. It's as simple as that. Buy when everyone is screaming bloody murder, because that's where the money is made in markets. So leave me a comment down below to let me know what your experience is with MSTE at this current time. And as always, if you have stuck around this long, go ahead and catch another one of my videos right over here, or check out my channel over here, where you can take a look at all the other content I have to offer about investing and my personal investing journey. And that's all for me today. I'm Patrick with Apex Wealth Collective. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.